What's up, cool cats and kittens? It is Uncle Mad here for the long-awaited, long-anticipated return of Marvel Monday. And no, that's not Nephew P. We have a very special guest on this episode. It's Aunt Jesta here for the finale full series recap of WandaVision. We are gonna watch the season finale of WandaVision live. You'll get the usual weird live reaction stuff like you usually get with me and Nephew P. Then at the end, Jesta and I will break down the full series, which I think it'll be very interesting to have her on for her reaction, her breakdown of the series, because she didn't want to watch this show coming in. She wasn't interested in WandaVision. She doesn't care about...
That's not even remotely true.
I said, do you want to watch WandaVision with me at the very start? And you said, no, I don't care about Scarlet Witch and Vision.
I said, no, I don't want to watch it with you right now. And then I watched it literally like a week later.
Actually, it was about 4 episodes in. It blew up on TikTok. That's when Jess was like, oh, it's all over TikTok. I should watch this thing now.
Yeah. I was going to watch it anyway. Yeah. It's MCU. I was going to watch it.
You saw the face. So, as somebody who wasn't necessarily interested in this show from the get-go, but then found it interesting from the follow-up, and once she started watching it, I think her take on this will be very interesting. But maybe it won't be. Maybe she'll just act like she liked it all along and was never not going to watch it until just she didn't understand half the TikToks because they were all about this show, and so she had to watch it to understand TikTok. Needless to say, we're going to start the season finale. I've managed to get through, it's Friday evening, the whole day, spoiler free, even though a lot of people went nuts and watched this at like 3 in the morning when it first came out. Did you see any TikToks that spoiled anything? She got the Mandalorian spoiled on TikTok, which would have just, I would have killed myself if that had happened to me, so poor babe. We're gonna watch the season finale of WandaVision and then break it all down for you, all the people who've been hitting me in the comments down below saying, bring back Marvel Monday. We finally have a new Marvel thing to discuss. Let's do it. I don't think Nephew P's watched this. I would have done this for Nephew P, but
he watched it a little bit.
Okay, well maybe if I get a chance to see Nephew P, I'll edit something in with his thoughts on it, so. WandaVision. It was just cool.
How long is this episode? Ooh!
48 minutes. So shorter than any movie we've done on Marvel Monday.
No, dear.
For your records.
I'm counting on it.
I'm just worried we're gonna get through this whole thing and it's just gonna be one of those shows where all the mysteries and stuff was all concocted in the fan's head and the show just ends with a big superhero battle and it's like, oh, nope, that's it. Everything ended. None of the surprises you thought were coming are coming. We'll see. Like Game of Thrones, where we had all these hopes and dreams of what was coming at the end, and there's just nothing. Don't watch Game of Thrones if you haven't watched it yet.
Don't watch season 8 of Game of... Is it season 8 or season 7?
Season 8's the last season.
That's what I'm saying. Don't watch the last season. The last season's trash.
Agnes doesn't live here. You do. You're Ralph Boner?
Oh, God.
Is she?
Still don't know who was there that the FBI was looking for.
I mean, it's a Marvel thing. It's to tell Nephew P this every time we watch one of these, but just because the credits start doesn't mean the movie's over.
Come on, Toby, you can do it.
Give it a shot. See what you can do.
Come on, baby.
It's almost... You made it.
Good job.
Mission accomplished. Toby hair everywhere.
Pet him. Don't put a clump on his face.
There's still 6 more minutes, so we may have more stuff coming. God, Jesus. Wait, there's Toby hair. New hoodie. I don't want Toby hair all over it. Okay, So we just finished watching the WandaVision season finale. It's kind of disappointing.
A little bit.
But I kind of wonder how much of that is...
It was hyped up too much.
Yeah, because Marvel's not made TV shows before. They had all the Daredevil stuff that was on Netflix, but that wasn't really made by the same group that's in charge of all this. So spreading out a story over 8 episodes, maybe they didn't anticipate how much people would grasp onto stuff and be expecting certain reveals, certain twists. Like, I think everybody is going to be pretty upset that there was no resolution to who the astrophysicist or whatever that Monica Rambeau teased, because everybody thought that was going to be Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, somebody else cool.
I want to know who.
Jesta's stuck on this random throwaway line that Jimmy Woo was looking for somebody in witness protection or something like that. I didn't even know that was a part of the show.
Why would they send Jimmy Woo to check on somebody if he wasn't involved?
I don't know. But that's gonna, the bad news is that the other shows they have coming up are kind of already in the can, so they don't really have time to adjust from this. And once again, maybe it's the fandom, the viewers' fault for kind of coming up with these mysteries that weren't really supposed to be mysteries.
There was a bunch of stuff that I saw about Anya Jenkins, but she didn't turn out to be.
Who Anya Jenkins is?
Oh yeah, because I pay attention to your fandoms, but you don't pay attention to mine. Dottie.
Oh yeah, everybody wanted Dottie to be somebody. Everybody wanted,
because they said like Dottie was the key to Westview, was like the line that everybody kept.
Actually, the season finale kind of killed more stuff than it revealed anything, because we didn't get anything about who the big astrophysicist was. We didn't get who the thing you said was the witness protection. Dottie was just like everybody else in the town who just was in control by the Scarlet Witch. The biggest mistake may have been throwing Evan Peters in there as Quicksilver, because everybody was just like, oh my gosh, this is the X-Men. We're bringing in the X-Men. We're bringing in the X-Men. This is how they're bringing in the X-Men. And it turns out it wasn't really the Quicksilver from the X-Men universe. It was a guy named Ralph Boner, who I guess just kind of coincidentally looks like Quicksilver from the X-Men universe.
I think that's exactly what it was.
So at the end of it, we didn't get any big twists, no major earth-shifting things to the Marvel universe that we thought it seemed like it was going to. I kind of was worried that was going to be the case all along, because it feels like Marvel would save stuff like that for the movies. This was kind of a new venture into TV. The overall Marvel Studios is more invested in this than they were in the Daredevil shows that were on Netflix. So I thought maybe there was a chance they'd go a little bit bigger on this.
Yeah, but if they told us like why like the person was like in witness protection there, that could have led into another movie.
You're so stuck on this witness protection person. That's the least interesting mystery, to the point that I didn't even realize it was supposed to be a mystery. But they did tease...
I don't care about the astrophysicist.
They teased some stuff to come. I think obviously the big lead in is that we already knew that Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, is going to appear in the new Doctor Strange movie, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They name dropped that the Scarlet Witch's powers could be potentially more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. That's Doctor Strange. She mentioned she doesn't know how to work her powers yet, but she's going to find out. It would logically suggest that she would seek out the Sorcerer Supreme to find out how to control her powers more. So that leads into that. I think a lot of people thought with maybe the X-Men multiverse stuff that we thought was happening, maybe that's why she would go into that, because the Doctor Strange movie is called Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So turns out that wasn't so much it. She's just a magic person who's like, I gotta go find the other magic guy. So yeah, I mean, the show overall was good, but I think it got built up too much with all the expectations of what the finale was.
The show was really
what
good,
the big reveals were.
Ending was a letdown.
No John Krasinski showing up as Reed Richards. That's what everybody was hoping was going to be the quote-unquote astrophysicist, but we got teases of things to come, that she's going to go join Doctor Strange, Monica Rambeau. There was a tease that she's going to go start working with Nick Fury. We'll see. Hopefully, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier, the next series that starts in 2 weeks, will probably be a better overall series, because I don't think it's going to have as much twists, turns, mysteries. It seems like it's going to be more of a straight up espionage, spy thriller type show, so you won't have all the deep, oh, are they going to, is Professor Xavier going to come out of the Falcon's butt when he flies up in the air? People might think that after everything that happened on this. Oh, there goes Mr. Cat. He just about
Toppled everything.
could put it on the floor. But I thought it was good. I think a lot of the people, what I was interested from your perspective as somebody who wasn't that interested in it from the get-go, was there's a lot of non-Marvel fans who got into the show because they thought it was cool the way it was kind of doing a weird psycho trippy mismatch of different sitcom tropes, who started to kind of go out of it on the last 2 episodes where it kind of just turned straight up into a Marvel movie. So I think this particularly might be even a bigger turnoff to people like that, because it didn't really have the reveals. It just, I mean, it literally just ended with, like, you know, your typical
What?
big superhero battle at the end. Kind of very predictable at the end. I think everybody wanted bigger things to happen than actually did happen. Who knows? Like I said, I think that's why Falcon and Winter Soldier will be a little bit better, because I don't think there will be as much expectations for...
I still don't understand the final shizzy. The
Final after the credit scene was there was a seemingly peaceful Wanda sitting on a porch sipping coffee, and then it cut to inside, and Wanda in full Scarlet Witch robe was scanning through the Book of the Dead or whatever it was that Agatha Harkness had. I think that's suggesting that she's trying to put on a front to the rest of the world that she's retired to the mountains and is just living there peacefully, but secretly the real Scarlet Witch is
then you
digging into her magic, trying to figure out.
chitlins?
She heard the screams of her children who disappeared that were never real in the first place. So I think she's digging into the dark magic, the chaos magic, trying to figure out how to bring her kids back. And that the tease is that she's secretly telling the rest of the world, sorry about all that, now I'm calm, just living in the mountains, drinking my coffee, but I'm really a crazy witch trying to learn how chaos magic works. So
I don't think she's crazy.
we'll see more of her in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
When does that come out?
Next year, I think. I think this year it's just Black Widow, Eternals, Spider-Man, and all the TV shows that are supposed to come out this year, which is Captain America Winter Soldier's next, then Loki, and then I think Hawkeye. We lost Jesta. Needless to say, with all that being said, still an enjoyable show. Most of the episodes are 30 to 40 minutes, so you're not taking up a whole lot of time to watch it. I lost her. More Marvel Mondays will be to come, because there's more Marvel content to come, so let me know your shots. Let's do some shots. Let me know your thoughts on the show in the comments down below. Were you disappointed in the finale like we were? I mean, the other thing to think about, this now popped in my head, this is a TV show. They haven't said anything about this, but there could be more seasons of WandaVision. Maybe we'll get more of these answers in future seasons. I don't know. I'm not Kevin Feige. Who's to say? But subscribe to the channel so you get all the future Marvel Monday installments, because there's more Marvel to come. There will be more Marvel Mondays. Like this video, thumbs up, not thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on for notifications so you see all the future Marvel Mondays. Don't stand so close to me. Or the Scarlet Witch, because she's evil. Hey, it's Uncle Mad. I'm back. Couldn't possibly be a Marvel Monday without a post-credit scene. In the little bit of time since me and Jesta finished our thoughts on the episode, I've since watched a couple recaps of other people's thoughts. I've looked at some stuff on Twitter. It's kind of given me a little bit different perspective, kind of changed my perspective a little bit, so I wanted to throw some additional thoughts out there. Number one, I'm still a little frustrated that we got teased so much stuff that we didn't get. Some of that comes, and initially earlier I kind of said maybe I give Marvel a little benefit of the doubt because they haven't done TV before, but we did have a direct tease from Paul Bettany, which he did come back and correct and say, hey, I was trying to make a joke and maybe I shouldn't have done that. Where he said he was working with a legendary actor that he'd always wanted to work with, but turns out he was referring to himself and he was trying to joke about it, and he thought it'd be funny when people came out and saw that, but then he kind of realized how seriously people take these stupid things. So that's one. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Elizabeth Olsen, she got asked if the show was going to have its big Mandalorian type moment, and she said, yeah, and that got blown out of perspective too, because of course she's going to say that. She's not going to downplay the show she's on and say, no, we're going to have a ending that just kind of like tease up some stuff down the line, so wipe that off the face of the earth. But I can't ignore the fact that Marvel made a huge mistake putting Evan Peters, his version of Quicksilver, in this, because they knew what they were doing. They knew they were teasing people. They knew they were making you think this is how the X-Men are coming in, and then it turns out he's just a guy named Ralph Boner. Funny. I laughed when they first said Ralph Boner. I laughed, but still a little frustrating that they kind of teased, this is where the X-Men are coming in, this is where this is coming, this is where this is, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. But positives, and I don't know how much I talked about this in the initial recap, it was a great show, expanding upon and making more giving more development to two characters that a lot of people didn't like or didn't have much connection to coming out of the initial Marvel movies with Wanda and Vision. I think a lot more people are going to be interested in seeing what they do in the future movies and shows that they might show up in. The episode itself was kind of weird, and I didn't really think about this in the initial reaction because I was more focused on the fact that we didn't get some of the stuff that we thought we might get. But like the Monica Rambeau character was very separate from everybody else in the episode. Hayward, the sort of douchebag guy from S.W.O.R.D., was very separate from everybody. Everybody in general is kind of very separate, and I started to think, I saw somebody point out that in the original scheme of things, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is supposed to be coming out in a month, but it's since been bumped back to, I think, next year due to everything that happened with the film rescheduling from COVID. And it made me think, this show had to be filmed, maybe some of it started filming before COVID, and then some of it, the wrap up this last episode, some of the last bits were filmed post-COVID when there was regulations in place about how to film, because like everybody felt very separate. And usually these shows, these superhero movies, TV shows, like one of the things that was most frustrating to me back when I used to watch The Walking Dead was the middle part of the series seemed to always be, okay, we got to separate all the characters. Everybody's got to go to 100 different places, and the last like episode or two, everybody comes back together. Nobody really came back together in this episode. Everybody was kind of on their own. There was a lot of shots of Monica and Rambeau just kind of like staring at what was happening in the action with Wanda, so kind of made me think maybe this last episode kind of got messed up. Like they kind of just had to throw it together in a post-COVID world. And so I can give them the benefit of the doubt on that if that's the case. And I think it might have been. So starting to kind of soften on it. If they'd just taken the Quicksilver thing out. Because a lot of the other things were things that people jumped on and ran with. Maybe they shouldn't have. But the Quicksilver thing, once you throw Evan Peters in there, people are going to run with that. So Marvel shouldn't have done that. I'm sure they thought it would be like a funny little wink nod thing, but maybe they underestimated how many people would go, oh, this is it. This is where the X-Men come in. Blah, 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 blah. But now one thing I've also thought about with this is, as I said earlier in the video, maybe this is a tease of Wanda going to get mentored by Stephen Strange, learning how to use her powers. But having read some recaps, having seen some stuff that other people have speculated on Twitter, I now think it's more likely Wanda either becomes the villain of the Doctor Strange movie, if not even the big bad of the entire next phase of the Marvel movies. Because if you know the comics, you know she does what she did just in the city of Westview on a scale where she does it to the entire world. And a lot of people thought that's kind of what this was leading into, why this might be what the X-Men come in through, because there's a comic book series called House of M, where she basically warps the entire world and makes mutants the superior group, makes her father, who in the comics is Magneto, the ruler of the world, essentially. And so a lot of people thought that's what the show was kind of leading towards, and then it kind of petered off. So, you know, maybe rather than her going to learn from Doctor Strange, maybe it becomes Doctor Strange is trying to prevent her from becoming this immensely powerful, magical villain who can change the entire world. Because, I mean, Agatha Harkness in principle was the villain of this show, but she did say, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what's to come. She was alluding to the fact that there's prophecies that the Scarlet Witch is bad news, you know, so that could be interesting. And if you think back to, like I said, the timeline originally, Doctor Strange was supposed to only come out about a month after this show. So this was kind of supposed to lead right into Doctor Strange. So could she be the big bad for the Marvel Universe going forward? Could she be the big bad for that movie that leads into an even bigger bad? Mephisto was somebody that was talked a lot about with this show. I don't know. I had some additional thoughts, wanted to throw them on the end of this vlog. It's Marvel Monday, so of course there has to be a post-credit scene, but just my thoughts. If you have thoughts, as I mentioned, let me know in the comments down below. My brain's still racing from this show. Even though I didn't get what I really wanted out of it, the more I've thought about it, the more I've kept thinking about it, so I guess that's a good thing, so. Hats off to Scarlet Witch. I did end the initial run by saying she's evil, so maybe I was ahead of myself in my thinking. I don't know. Who's to say? Like, subscribe, comment, all that crap.